because I have no room here, I have no business really, but he always makes room for me to say something. And so I want to say to the President-elect and all the extended family of the NRM, good afternoon to you all, and congratulations to you all. I am so grateful to God, really, again, for making this first program in this Chisanja to meet here with SEC, with the Secretariat, with the President-elect, with all these elects, to thank God first. Because only He makes this possible. And He gives us an opportunity now, then, to thank every one of you, because I hate to go into the names, but looking at you, I remember that none of you was left the president alone, and the contribution of each one of you made God's divine purpose possible. So this gives me an opportunity really today to say thank you to the President himself, to say thank you to SEC, to say thank you to the Secretariat, to say thank you to the religious leaders, to say thank you, and most of all, to God for His faithfulness, and to give us an opportunity to praise His name together in sincerity and in reality today before even the President speaks to the nation. I want to thank you and to welcome you to our village and to this compound. We must thank you all for hard work and for leading the people of Uganda to do what is right and good in the eyes of God. We must now rededicate ourselves to the service of God's people, and He will bless our effort like He did in this election campaign. For me, that is enough. Congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Now, I want to thank God for this victory and all the victories we have had in the last 50 years, 55 years of struggle since 1971. I also want to thank the NRM members and all the leaders who have been mentioned here, because all of them played a critical role in this victory. I don't have time to go into details, but it's enough to give a summary, to give that general thank you. I want to thank the armed forces for maintaining peace. I want to thank the religious leaders for praying for this success, many of them. I want to thank even the cultural leaders. Many of them are very responsive. They are very responsible. They don't support bad things. Although they are non-partisan, but they work for peace. The opposition were lucky because 10 million of my people did not turn up. They would have been embarrassed badly. Because you see, we got 8 million votes about, but remember, we have got, when we reviewed the membership on the 6th of May, you remember we had 21 million members and 18 million of them are voters. But we are now talking of 8 million who turned up. So the opposition, and many of them who did not turn up are our members. 10 million of them did not turn up. So we must find out why. Why the 10 million? Me, I have some reasons which I will discuss with SEC. So the opposition are lucky, because if all our members turn up, there will be no opposition in Uganda, I can assure you. This is because you are beginning to go back a bit to the principles of the NRM. Because if you remember, those who are old enough, if they remember the elections of 1996, people were not willing to listen to any story from the opposition, from Semugeri. They said, Semugeri, please, 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 don't disturb us. And he had no impact in many parts of the country. Because that time we had dealt with the major needs of the people. That time, the major needs were, number one, a disciplined army, which would not kill people, no extrajudicial killings. People are very, very happy with that. Amaje agaringaba bikira. That's what they used to sing. They would sing an army which is like nuns, soft. That was number one. Number two, these people who know Nyankore and Richiga and Rinyoro and the other dialects would say, NRM ekatuweho kuryana. NRM yatujangako okulumangana. NRM has removed sectarianism, actually, that's what they were talking about. NRM has removed sectarianism from us. This was 1996. And then, that time, we had started rehabilitating the infrastructure. Rehabilitating the infrastructure, and they were beginning to see that rehabilitation is coming. And we had also solved the issue of shortages. Ebola into shortages, lack of soap, lack of salt, so people were so united. This one is coming back now. When I was campaigning, I could see it was that atmosphere of maximum unity is coming back. Why? In many areas, it is mainly because of peace. Like in northern Uganda, West Nile. What? What are you talking about? You want to bring war again? No. Northern Uganda, some parts of eastern Uganda, this is one factor, peace. But then also especially PDM, has given some, in some of the areas, it has given people hope that we can get rid of poverty. Then the skilling hubs, these few skilling hubs we had scattered, those have given people hope also. So there is a way children who had no hope becoming very useful with just 6 months of training. This one is exciting a lot of people. So therefore, we must analyze, find out. I have some reasons, but I will mention them in a sec. That's why I'm saying the opposition are lucky. They have not seen our full strength. Just 80 million people turned up. Many of the spirit votes are ours. the 200,000, almost 300,000 spirit votes, because these are our people who, the elders and so on. So, but it's a good test of the strength of the NRM, but it's not all the strength. If all the strength of the NRM turn up, there will be no opposition in Uganda. Now, unfortunately, the opposition, some of the opposition are wrong, but not terrorist. But some of the opposition are wrong and also terrorist. So I will discuss with the interreligious. The other time when we had a meeting with the Interreligious Council, I told them if we can find a way of advising these misled people so that we don't have to use a strong arm on them, it will be better. Of course, we have the capacity to, because they were planning, something happened in Butambara. Butambara, a character called Chivumbi was defeated. Now, the plan everywhere was that where Nup is defeated, gangs with the pangas. You remember pangas? With the pangas should attack the polling station. And that's what they did. When Chivumbi was defeated, they came with the pangas to attack the polling station, and they were shot. 7 of them were shot dead there with the pangas. Now, those who came to Nakasero on the 14th, on the 13th, remember that I was up the whole night. I didn't sleep. They came to pray there. They saw me there. I didn't sleep the whole night. I was busy meeting. The problem, the group of these traitors, like Kyagulanyi and some of the other opposition, not all of them, some of the opposition, especially the ones who used to belong to the Besigye group, Besigye wing, they don't understand that Uganda is a land of martyrs. In my New Year's speech, I made this reference, but people don't listen to my speeches. They think I'm just talking. I never talk anything. Everything I talk is deliberate and decisive. If you read that speech of my New Year, I said, you people, Uganda is the land of martyrs, if you don't know. Martyrs, this is what they call martyrs. We're young boys. Young boys. All of them. I don't think there was any. I hear there was one who was 40 years old, but all the others were young boys. But when Mwanga told them to do bad things, they refused. And Mwanga said, I will kill you. Say, okay, you kill us. That's what happened. And they died, but the one who killed them disappeared also. Then you come to the political matters. Be careful with the Ugandans, you people. Be very careful. You may think you are this, you are that, but be very careful. These Ugandans they are from very strong tribes, strong culture. They have got a very strong sense of fairness. The Banyankore don't believe in Okugurikira. They don't believe in it. Surprise attack. Europeans like surprise attack. They think surprise attack is fighting. That's cowardice. The Banyankore, when he is coming to fight you, and you are looking the other way, he has not seen you. You clear your throat. And then he turns to face you. And you insult him, I have come to cut your mother something. Then you sort it out. This is the culture of this place. If you don't know if you have got foreign cultures, please be careful with Ugandans, the tribes here. Basilio Kero captured our people on June 9th, 1981, in Chikandwa village. 9 of them said, our people were nearby there. A boy called Jack Mchunguzi, he had a small detachment nearby. For me, I had just left, I had gone to Nairobi to go to see Gaddafi in Libya. Basilio Kero said, you show us where the guerrillas are, or I will kill you. Rutamaguzi told the other 8, Nkanjirwa, Sentongo, there were 9 of them. Rutamaguzi told them, Temulajana. What is Okulajana in Uganda? Huh? Don't ask for mercy. Temulajana, don't ask for mercy. And Basilio cut them with pangas. And Basilio thought he was victorious. But what happened to Basilio is another story. So this is the Uganda. Now, what these people were planning is what Chivumbi did in Butambala. They were trying to do it in all areas. That's what they planned. Of course, I knew they planned. But more importantly, that where they don't win, they should cut people. Of course, we were ready to deal with them decisively. But even better, most of the Nupe people who were supposed to do that refused and came and met me. This is not the first time they met me, told me the whole story. Oh, okay, you go. And this is not the first time. The other year, when there were riots in Kenya, the same riots were supposed to happen here. But the people they wanted to use came and told me. And we refused the. So therefore, I am advising this small group of traitors. But they are working with foreigners, some homosexual groups, some this and that. So when I met Bishop Jumba here, some days ago, we had arrested a priest in Masaka because he was involved with Kyagulanyi. They wanted me to release him. I said, no, you can't release him. You can release him if they tell the truth and they stop. Because that our interest is not to punish. Our interest is that they must stop doing this and never do it again. So therefore, I'm really I want to salute the people of Uganda. It's not just the security forces who are maintaining peace, it is also the people, including the Nupe members. Very many of them. I really thank the Ugandans. The Ugandans are you should be very careful with them. Yes, some of them have grievances, have this, have that, but once you go beyond certain stage, they will say, this one. In fact, what many of them are saying, Libya. That's what they keep telling me. We don't want our country to be like Libya. So all the traitors, this is free advice from me, that please stop what you are doing, because we know everything, and you will not do it. Either peacefully or unpeacefully, we shall maintain peace in Uganda. Now, in the coming Kisanja, we shall have 2 categories of efforts. Category 1 is supporting the rich. Because many Ugandans are now rich. The rich, the Basajja Barabas. The one with commercial farms, the one with factories, the ones with hotels, including the foreigners who are coming with factories, those we shall continue supporting them. The owners of the real estate, we shall continue supporting those through UDB, Uganda Development Bank, and other instruments. Now, as we speak, 70% of the homesteads are in the money economy. The Chigongos, those are rich people, the Chigongos, the ones with hotels. These are like 70% of the population now who are in the money economy. Some small, some big. So the real challenge now, but this, we need this to continue growing, because these ones are the ones who pay more tax. The more they grow, the more taxes they pay, the more money we have to do to help to do things, but also help the poor. Now, for the 30%, this is where we need to address the following. Poverty. Poverty. The medicine for poverty are these funds which we set aside. The funds of PDM now. PDM is working very well. In some of the areas, it is working very well. Asimwe, the vice chairperson, Western, I'm sure had in Kasese, in Maliba sub-county, where the spokesperson described the PDM as a silver bullet. A silver bullet, that it is a silver bullet. It is something that has solved so many problems. In some areas, it's not working so well, but we are not, during my trips, both PDM and even these campaigns, I would be like inspecting, monitoring, and they would tell me what the problem is. So poverty, we must end poverty. All these homesteads must get out of poverty, this 30%. Because it is that poverty which opens them up for all this manipulation. Now, these opposition are even some of the NRMs are abusers of our people. One of the plans was to get money from outside and give bribes to voters. What is the bribe? 10,000 shillings per voter. Now, I don't know what 10,000 shillings can do. Can it buy a fish? Can it buy one fish or something? What can 10,000, can it buy a hen? So you give a bribe of 10,000. This is an insult. But our people, because they are poor, they can accept it. So that's why, in order to stabilize the country, we must end poverty in these homesteads. Yeah. In this coming Sanje, we should have no compromise. All these homesteads, unless they don't want, they must have capacity to have income, give intandikwa to start generating money for their, so that they are not poor. When I'm moving around, some of the families are giving me gifts of cows, because some of the families are still poor, but others are rich. They're able to. When I was in Kole, a young boy, like 35 or something, he brought 10 million shillings. During this campaign, the last one I was there, he said, I'm contributing to your campaign. 10 million, yes. So I said, what are you doing? He said, I own schools. I own 4 schools. So he was contributing to my campaign. So we must reverse the culture where the families are in need, asking, to a culture of when they have a surplus which they can contribute to the church, to the mosque, to the party. You can imagine if I had 10,000 people giving me 10 million for the party, how much would that be? How much would that be? 10,000 times 10 million times 10,000. 100 billion or a trillion? Huh? 100 billion. Yes. That's number one. We must end poverty in our homes, because it is that poverty which opens gate for all these other problems. The other area is education. Free education in government schools. That program was sabotaged here. All these children who are in the ghetto are because of dropping out of school, because they can't afford school fees. Then health, in the area of health, the shortage of immunization is doing well, but the problem is with the drugs in the hospitals. You, the elected leaders, you must monitor these programs in your area, because all these things are happening in portions of Uganda, parishes, sub-counties, in your constituencies. You must monitor the drugs in the hospital. What is the problem? Are they being stolen, or are they not enough? If it is a problem, then bring it up and we deal with it. What is the problem? Then corruption. This corruption annoys people. They get so annoyed. Find out from our 18 million, the 18 million who of the party, how many of them are annoyed and why? By either corruption or unfairness. Then justice. To ensure that the magistrates, decide cases fairly. Land grabbing, resisting land grabbing according to the law. Because all these are happening in the areas under us as a member of parliament. Then the issue of the roads. The tarmac roads, like this road from Mitiana to Fort Portal, which had become so bad. Eventually they intervened and removed the potholes, but they are now going to work on it. But why would anybody have waited until it was so late? Or the Maram Road to Hweju, where the speaker, I'm glad the speaker suffered on that road, because she also suffered on the road to Aleptong. It's good to have a speaker who is moving around instead of the one just sitting in the office, because they don't know how the people are suffering. Those roads, even if they are Maram, they would be passable. They are where the roads are Maram but passable. So what is the problem? Why would the road be so bad and the member of parliament is there, doesn't bring it up, then people are suffering so much? Our lady for the women, I think she's from that area, Hweju. So the roads in the tarmac roads must be repaired on time, Because you can see them, they start slowly, even good road. The other time when I was driving to Nakasongola, small potholes come, no action is taken, then they grow. What is happening to the Ministry of Works? What are they doing? Some of the other roads, when they are still new, they are very good. Like the roads in Karamoja, the roads in Bunyoro, those are very good. Very good. But they must be maintained all the time. I'll be very harsh in this Sanja, you people. You have to forgive me. Then the issue of water. I'm glad many villages have safe water now, but we are going to have all the villages getting safe water, Naikondo and so on, or piped water, but also water for production, irrigation. Jobs, not government jobs, but jobs from agriculture, from manufacturing, from artisanship, and so on. Now, once we do this, we shall unite our 21 million members so that when we go for elections in 2031, it will not be just because the people did not turn up after our members. Because you see, remember, in our membership, we are 21 million of the party. 18 million are voters. We are voters by that time, in May, and they were on the registered book. No, we checked, some of them were voting age, but not on the register. But when we checked how many got on the register, do you remember? I think the ones who got on the register were 14 million or what? So you get you see the loss. NRM has, on May 6th, we registered 21 members. 18 million of them were voting age. But when we checked, even that time, the ones who were on the register were like 7 million. They were voting age, but they are not bothered to register. Then we started the campaign to register them. I think by now, about 14 million are on the register. So when we say 8 million turned up to vote, that means that 10 million altogether did not come. Some were not even registered, but even the ones who are registered, you can see we are talking of 6 million who did not come. And why did they not come? We must find out the reason why. Once we deal with these areas, East African, because you see the economy is growing so much, the production is so big, the internal market is not enough. Yes, if people become richer, with more money in the pocket, they can buy more internally. But we also need the external market. And that's why I've already started speaking to our East African leaders. This morning I speak to His Excellency Ruto. I'm going to speak to Samia and the other leaders about the East African community to make that market free so that we can sell easily without restrictions. Now finally, this time we are going to start taking advantage of our oil, because our oil will start flowing this year. When I was flying all over the place, I was passing over the pipeline. It is reaching Hoima, and very soon we shall start pumping the oil. And therefore we shall have money to deal with the infrastructure, to deal with the railway, to deal with the power stations, to deal with some of the roads, not all the roads, because I don't want the oil money to be spent on these things which are not long-lasting. I want to put the oil money in the railway, which will last a long time, and in the power stations. and in science education. So that, because this, when Chagulanyi went to Hoima, he said, no, we should share this man and we eat it. We should share the man and eat it. So Asim